YouTube. What's good, guys? It's your boy Titty, and I'm back again with another live, guys. And tonight's live is Fantasy Football After Dark. Now, me and Maximus, we are here for your fantasy football questions. Guys, we got 2 days before the first game. So I wanted to do a Q&A with y'all. I think y'all need to just get whatever you need to get off your system, and we're going to be here. And we're going to talk a little bit about the news, chop it up, talk about a little bit of anything while y'all guys come in. So make sure you hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. This is cutting edge content. What's going on with you, Maximus? What's going on with you on this Tuesday after the holiday?
Oh, not too much. Just, hanging at home, enjoying the day. How about yourself?
Same thing, man. Just ready to start fantasy football. I'm combing through my leagues, just making any little small adjustments that I need to make. Trying to find trade candidates, whatever I can, man, to make my team better. What about you? What are you doing for your fantasy teams 2 days away from game day?
Well, that's what I was just doing too. And I'll throw this at you. So I was looking at Alex's team and Terrence's league, and then I seen a trade. So I'm like, frig, I was really hoping Brock Bowers would come back. So I'm like, I don't really care if I have Gianti. So I'm thinking of offering this, but I'm so on the fence, and I know it's a fair trade for both. But giving him Gianti and Kyle Pitts, and then I get Brock Bowers and Devontae Smith.
Mm, okay. Is the trade? Have y'all made the trade yet?
No, I haven't even offered it. I haven't even
Okay.
decided where I've landed on it. That's how
Right, right,
even it
right.
is, right? So I'm like, do I want to send this because I know that'll give him also Gianti and Gibbs at
Right,
running back,
right, 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 right,
which is a hurting position for him and a hurting position for me is wide receiver.
right, right.
So it would improve
Okay.
my wide receiver room and improve my tight end.
Right, right, right. I don't know if they. I don't trade. I think it's a good trade for you, but I don't know if the other guy's gonna do the trade.
Oh, I think it's a good trade for both.
You think so? You think they're gonna do it?
Well, I don't know. I know Alex loves Gianti.
Okay. Right,
So
right, right,
it's one of those. I don't know. Do you want Gibbs and Gianti as your running back combination for the season? It's a pretty
right,
good
right,
combination to have in a 16-team league. You know what I mean?
right, right.
And then he's pretty
You
comfortable at wide receiver, so it improves his running back room, which is his
right,
weakest, and would make it
right,
his strongest. And then it would lower his wide receiver room and his tight end room, but not by much.
right, right, right. I see you,
So,
Nifty. I see you, Chris. Vila, I see you, Big Will in the house. I say Big Will in the house. Watch your mouth. I see you, Elisa. Yes, sir. Appreciate you guys coming in. I'm gonna let y'all build up a little bit before we get started. Make sure you hit the like button as you come in. But what's going on? Anything you want to talk about outside of the trade?
well, we talked about the first game that's coming up on Thursday.
Okay.
See what we think about that. The Cowboys' first game without Mika Parsons after the big trade, which they got
Listen,
less for Mika Parsons than what the Jets got when they sent Jamal Adams to the Seahawks.
right, and also they didn't even get the same thing that they got with what's the edge rusher from Chicago? They got traded from the Las Vegas Raiders. Well, they was the Oakland Raiders at that time.
Oh, Khalil
What's
Mack?
the Khalil Mack? Khalil Mack, what did they get for Khalil Mack? Was it two firsts or was it three firsts?
I think it was just one, wasn't it?
No, I think it was like multiple firsts. It was
Maybe
multiple
two.
firsts. Yeah, I think it might have been more than two. Or if it might have been two firsts and a second. I think they got like two firsts and Kenneth Clark, the Cowboys. But I think the Bears, not the Bears, but I think Oakland got a little bit more.
Well, maybe. I'd have to go back and look. I don't really remember.
Right.
I
Got
know
you.
I was one of the first things John Gruden did was trade Khalil Mack,
Got you.
which
Got you.
just blew my mind because, I think he can work in any defense, right? If he wanted to be a Raider, we should
Right.
keep him there.
Right. But everybody's trying to do the Herschel Walker thing. And I get it. If you come into a roster and you don't like it, you don't even got a guard to help establish the run, maybe you need to it's like fantasy football. Give up one of these top players to try to really rebuild your roster. What are you gonna do? You gonna let that player just die out on your roster? Like I had to trade Lamar in one league. You know how I love Lamar. But that's the only thing I had. So what I'm gonna do? Sit there and let Lamar play for 5 years with not winning the championship, don't make it to the playoffs? So I had to rebuild and get some first round picks and try to build my team on the orphan team. But I think it's the same way in real football. If you have three great players, what is those three great players going to do when you don't even have the simplest things? So maybe trade one of those
Well,
players and try to get a haul for them.
we'll see this year with the Bengals.
Right, right,
It's like they basically got Chase, Higgins, and Burrows, and then the money's all
right,
dried up after that. That's why they're not signing Trayvon Henderson.
right,
Which
right. And what did they end up? What did Henderson end up going? I mean, hit whatever his name is,
I don't. I think he's
Hickrix.
still just waiting.
Mm,
Like, and they just finally signed Shamir Stewart a little while ago, and then in
right, right,
practice, one of the practices he like bumped Joe Burrows and like knocked him down. It started a fight with the offensive lineman and him. Like
right,
that's our
right,
that's
right,
our that's our chances at a Super Bowl. Like you don't be hitting them like that, you idiot. Smarten up.
right, right, right.
What are you looking forward to in the Cowboys game on Thursday night?
Ah, fantasy football. I hate to
Nothing.
say it, man. I'm not excited about us winning or anything. What's going on, Fantasy Network? I'm excited probably about to see what Dak Prescott is he going to target George Pickens. We know he's going to target CeeDee Lamb, but I think he's going to target George Pickens a little bit. This more it's going to be it's not going to be comfortable for CeeDee Lamb owners. I think he's
Oh,
going
I
to
don't.
target George Pickens a little bit more than they like.
I think he gets 4 to 5 targets a game, like typically like what he was getting with the Steelers. I don't
Yes,
see
I
it being
thought
any
so.
more because that's like what
Right.
Brandon Cooks got, right?
How much?
4 to 5, maybe
Yeah.
6 on a good day. Good on a crazy offensive. Well, frig, man, the Cowboys are going to be behind a lot because their front seven on the defense is weak.
Right.
Your middle of that part, like the middle linebackers and the outside linebackers, they're young and inexperienced, and with
Right.
having that weak defensive line now, it's going to be easy to get to that second tier, and you're strong on the outsides and that. Like that's what I'm saying. Like Dallas Goddard's going to be a huge tight end this week because it'll be easy to cover the wide receivers on the outside, but all these young guys in the middle, it's going to be Dallas Goddard and whoever the YR3 is, like you know what I mean, the wide receiver three, and we
Cutting
don't
edge
even know who that
content there.
is. Yeah, like
Right.
that's what I'm saying. Like Dallas Goddard, he's one of my starts for Thursday nights for sure.
Mm. Okay. Oh, we got the Gone Network says they signed Hendrickson for a 1 year, $14 million, I believe. I thought I saw that too. That they did sign him on like a 1 year or like a 1 year deal, I think.
So is that more than what it would be if he was to sign the, you know what I mean, franchise tag?
I think so. I think it's a little bit. I think it's a couple million more than what he would sign for the franchise. Other than that, why
Oh,
would he sign?
someone's saying 30 million. They thought that would make more
Yeah.
sense.
Yeah.
But for one
Yeah.
year, like, come on, your defense is weak. You need that guy.
Right.
Like he was
But
on the worst defense in the league, and he had the best stats going. Like, and he's the only reason that you kept you in games on that defensive side of the ball. Like he had no help. Now
right.
you got him, Shamir Stewart. There's some help. Luke Wilson, in the middle linebacker position. They've got a couple of young guys they tried out in the secondary. We'll see how they work out, but you got to keep Henderson there.
Yeah, but I don't know. Maybe I try to trade him and get a second round pick. But what is he gonna do to your defense? Is he gonna make the last sack of the game to win you the game on
Oh
defense?
God,
Maybe
yeah. Oh
you think
frig
so.
yeah.
He's that good. Okay,
Well, he led the league
okay.
in sacks last year.
Yes. Did he lead the league or he
Yeah.
tied?
No, he
Okay,
led the
okay,
league.
okay,
He was in
okay.
like high double digit numbers. So he's been a guy that just keeps getting better and better each year that he's been in the league, right?
Yeah.
Slowly and steady. And I liked him when he was with Sam Hubbard on the other side. The
Right.
two, the
Right.
two of them did well, but the Bengals let Sam Hubbard go because they signed T. Higgins, and then Hubbard retired because he like I don't want to play anywhere else. So you could have got him
Right.
cheap. You just had to offer him a contract.
Right. Right.
You know what I mean?
Gotcha. Yeah.
Veteran minimum be like, this is our best man. If you want to play here, like come play here. Because he still would have been good too with Shamir Stewart. Then the two of them could have rotated out while he builds up to the NFL level.
Right. Yeah, I don't know what the Cincinnati Bengals. You think they just own the team just to make money? Clearly, make money.
Well, yeah, because that's the only thing that guy does. like Mark Davis for the Raiders, right? Like that's the only
Right.
way he makes money is through the team, just like Mark Davis, and that's why they have a hard time paying stars when they come up because they don't have that money for that guaranteed part of it to keep in the account that they got to send to the NFL for those payments.
Okay.
And then did you hear what the Bengals owners did? So they got, you know how they have like a Ring of Honor day at the first home game, and they
Yeah.
invite all the people that are in the Ring of Honors that ever been a superstar for them. Well, Boomer Esiason on his podcast was talking about how they sent them a letter saying, "Hey, if you want to come, we've got a block of rooms at the Marriott downtown Cincinnati at a discounted rate for you." So they're not even like paying for a room. Then his co-host guy, he was like, "Were they at least paying for the flight?" He goes, "They didn't say so, so they want me to pay for everything." And he's like, "I'm not going."
That's
Like,
that's crazy.
yeah, I know. Like once a year, you can't pay these guys. Like they're in
That's
your Ring of
super
Honor. Like
duper
get
cheap.
honor them once a year that way, right? Like come
Right.
here. Here's a
But
weekend here with your family. Here's a hotel room. Like bring who you
but
want. Let me know.
right. But in profit, they making at least $200 million. I know that. I mean, that may not be a lot of money for the Browns, but and I mean Mike Brown and that family. But wow, you don't got enough money to pay for your first game of the season. That's going to invite you inviting your Hall of Famers for the Cincinnati Bengals. That's crazy. I don't know. I don't know. I don't get it. I don't like speaking on nobody else's money, nobody else's pockets. I just don't understand it. Why they so cheap?
Well, once you get that type of money in your hands, like it's when you get cheap, right? Because you don't want to ever lose it.
Right.
And like
Right. Right.
that Cincinnati Bengals game. I don't know if it was last year or the year before, but they made that tiger stripes on the Monday night, where it's like black orange for each section.
I didn't see it.
Okay. Well, they made it look like a tiger stripe. That was organized by the fans. And they went out and bought the
Mm,
T-shirts and put them on the chairs and everything. It wasn't the ownership had nothing to do with that. Neither did the organization. So that's how cheap they are.
yeah, and I know he didn't think about it twice either. He was like, I don't give a damn what they do.
Yep.
Okay, okay. All right. Well, we got a little bit of questions in here, so I guess we'll start going through, guys. This is a Q&A. So it depends on what y'all got going on. We're not gonna stay on here if y'all not doing the Q&As. We're not gonna stay on here long, but as long as y'all flooding the questions in, we're gonna go through everybody question. If you super chat, you get your questions. You get your question answered faster. You go to the straight of the line, to the front of the line. And if you are a member, also you will get your questions answered in a priority too. I don't want to make sure that I do that. I see you, Eddie Phillips. I see you, MVM. I see you, Miracle Ballers. We got Big Will. He says 100. Appreciate you, bro. Lisa says, good evening, gentlemen. Nifty says, fantasy after dark. Big Will says, what's up, guys? Ian Taylor said, TD Marathon Night. Yes, sir. Big Will says, I have Jamar Chase and Chase Brown. Should I try to trade Brock Purdy and a player like Jalen Warren for Burrow? I want that squeeze. So he says he have Jamar Chase and Chase Brown. Should I try to trade Brock Purdy and a player like Jalen Warren for Burrow?
I would do it.
I would do it.
Yep.
I would do it because two of those players are going to be top five every single week. Two of those players out of Chase Brown, Jamar Chase, and Joe Burrow. Two of those players going to be top five every single week. So why not? Even if the other guy is outside the top 12, if he's let's say top 24, I think it's still great value. So yes, I would do that. I would get rid of Brock Purdy and go with Joe Burrow. I can't
well,
believe you said that. I know how you believe in Brock Purdy.
Well, I do, but I also love Joe Burrow, especially this year with no defense. Like, if you're going to stay in games, like it's Joe Burrow put the team on his back and doing what he has to do to win games and carry that team. Like you said it before, we're going to get close to a 60 touchdown season. We might even see it this year with the Bengals.
I
Like, it's not
agree.
like he doesn't have options. As long as they stay healthy, I don't see what stops them offensively. It'll be their defense, whether they can stop the other team, right? Like the Bengals are going to get
Right.
stopped sometimes, but can that defense stop people at least 50% of the time? Because that's what it's going to take.
Agreed. 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 Um, Nifty says which two to start week one out of Travion, Swift, and Pacheco. I'm going with Swift to me. I'm going with the upside out of this one because I'm not big on Swift or Pacheco. I'm gonna go with Travion.
And he said start two, right? I'm going Swift and
Yeah.
Travion with Travion, my
Okay.
number one guy.
Which two? Oh yeah, he did say which two. So I would go with Travion and Swift too. My bad. Yep,
Yeah.
Travion and Swift.
I think Travion is going to friggin' just fly like crazy this year. Like over 1,000 yards isn't even going to be an issue. I think he's going to be a top 10 run back.
I do too. Chris Villa says, I killed my draft. TD, let's go. Yes, sir. RG in the middle. What's up, RG? Brother, I'm going to get you up here with me soon. Guys, RG will be coming up and doing content with me. That is one of my guys that will be doing content with me going forward. But RG says, start Pearsall or Dunze. I'm going with Pearsall.
Yeah. That'll be a close one, but I think Pearsall's like the more safer bet because they really got nobody else there. I think Juan Jennings just
Right.
came back to practice after 39 days yesterday, so he's going to be
Right.
rusty. And then there's
Right.
really nobody else after Pearsall. That's why they
Right.
went and they traded for Sky Moore. Like, who the hell cares about Sky
About
Moore?
Sky Moore. He
Yeah,
should be
like,
cut. He shouldn't
oh
even be
yeah,
on the NFL roster.
for sure. And Watkins, I think he would have exploded right around now, but he got that
Right.
high
Right.
ankle sprain, so that's going to hold him back because he was looking
Right.
really well, like he was going to play that second fiddle to Pearsall.
Okay. Okay. I didn't know that. Who was Watkins? What's his name?
Jordan Watkins out of Ole Miss.
Jordan Watkins.
He was the guy
Okay.
that played on the opposite side of Trey Harris, but the one that whenever they needed to play, that was the guy they looked to.
Trey, this was the big play guy.
Yeah,
Okay. Lisa says, TD, I stacked Lamar and Henry on two of my three leagues. I just kept hearing you in my head to stack them. Yes. How you feel about that stack, Maximus? Stacking Lamar and Henry together.
every time they get a touchdown, you're getting a touchdown.
You getting
You know what
one.
I mean? Like
It's
the
got to come
Bengals
between.
or the Ravens, I mean, right? Like, and they should like that defense is going to be so dominant this year. I don't think people realize. Like, I don't know which defense is better, the Ravens or the Broncos, because it's like right there. But then you got, I think the Ravens offense is better than the Broncos offense. So they're just going to destroy teams. Well,
In the NFL for about 6, 7 years now. He's seen everything. He's went through his lumps like Michael Jordan had to go through his lumps with the Detroit Pistons. Now you're ready to go, Lamar. So there's no excuses. This team is ready to go. You got Roquan Smith. You got a bunch of talent on that defense. You got a good secondary that's veterans that's not going to let people run behind them. I think this is y'all year.
and they start on the road in Buffalo.
We got let's see
And they
here.
also got to go to Kansas City.
Who, the Baltimore Ravens?
Yep.
Yeah, that's gonna be a tough game. We got MVM. He said, should I drop J.K. Dobbins for Tesla, Likely, or Strange? I have
No.
Harvey and Kittle, but no backup tight end. Now, you need to keep J.K. Dobbins. He's a running back.
Not only that,
Why
I
would you go
mean,
to that for a tight end?
he's the starting running back.
Yeah.
They just named him the starter today, so and that's what I expected. He's the veteran. They'll work RJ Harvey up slowly. That's what Sean Payton
Right.
does.
Right.
End of the
So I
season,
would,
playoff time might be a different story, but to start the season is J.K. Dobbins time.
right. And I'm keeping both to make sure that I got the starting running back on that good elite offense. I don't want to call it elite, but I want to call it a good offense. So I want to make sure that
It's
I have the starting running back on that team.
it's one that's about to be elite.
Right. I agree with that. Big facts. Bo Nix, I haven't been getting him in a lot of drafts, but I'm not gonna disrespect him. I know he could be a top five quarterback with his running ability, and he has Sean Payton as a coach. He's accurate. He can move out the pocket and deliver the ball. He has a lot of upside. I got him in a few leagues, but I haven't drafted enough of them.
Yeah, I drafted him last night in my seasonal league. That's a home league. I think I
Right.
got him as the eighth quarterback off the board. But
Gotcha.
I could have gotten Lamar, Jaden Daniels, and I was like, I'm going to get better running backs here, and I'm going to try to get Bo later, and that's what I did. I got him right. There's Bo
Yeah.
Nix or Baker Mayfield and Kyler Murray. That was like the
Right.
next set of quarterbacks. I'm like, yep, Bo, this is the time.
Right. Let's see here. We got MVM. He says, TD, what's good, bro? Hey, should I trade Sampson and Brandon Allen? Worried about Juckins. What do you say? I'll let you answer that first.
Well, Judkins is just getting there. I don't know if he's even had the playbook.
Right. Is he been
You know what I mean? Like
practicing?
he,
Right.
he he just signed, I think, or has he even signed? Just
No,
signed.
he ain't signed, but I think he's getting ready to sign.
Yeah, so like who knows what shape he's in? He's definitely not in football shape. It's gonna take him 4 weeks
Right.
at least to get into like proper football shape. But it's going to be Judkins and Sampson, and I think both of them will be guys you can start on a weekly basis at some point. It's going to be Ford that's going to be the guy that misses out once those two guys are ready. Oh yeah, so would I. But I think he wanted to trade both of those guys for someone. Oh, okay. Then yeah, I would do that.
You RB 0 man league. He says I took Swift and breached fifth and sixth. If he went zero RB, I don't think it's bad, but I would keep working the waiver wire.
Yeah, I like both those guys anyways. I think they're both going to have decent seasons.
I
Especially
agree.
for like as if you went zero RB and didn't get them till after. Those guys are
Right. That's
perfectly
great
fine
value.
guys. Like they're
Yeah.
better than you'd normally get.
Right. Right.
Like when I go zero RB, I'm not even touching running back till round 10.
Right.
That's zero RB to me.
Right. 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 To me, I will make sure I stud out my wide receivers in other positions. But once the value run out of the other positions, then I'm going to look for some running backs. I'm not going to draft a wide receiver that I can't start. That to me, he doesn't have the upside of a Jalen Warren. Right. So I start drafting Jalen Warren depending on where he's coming up on the queue or the running back list. So would I draft a let's say TJ Hawkinson over Jalen Warren? No, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to go ahead and get Jalen Warren. That's just how I do my zero RB. So I don't know how many rounds I'm going to go without getting my running back. I don't know. I just got to look at the board.
Yeah, I don't know. I've been very comfortable doing
Right,
it.
right. Yeah, I know you are, and I can't call you crazy because I've been seeing you do it and win doing that strategy. But yeah, I haven't went 10 rounds without a running back. I don't believe so.
It's not for the faint of heart. It's just
Right,
like in Terrence, though, look at that 16-team league we did. I didn't even get my
right,
second wide receiver till round 9. People are like
right,
freaking
right.
out about it. I'm
But
like,
it's a
what?
lot of wide receivers. That's a little bit different than RBs. There's a
Yeah.
lot of wide receivers.
16-team league, that's the easiest position to pick up, man. I'm stacking these running backs. I might not win
Right,
week 1. I might not win week
right.
2, but when it comes to attrition time, that's when I'm
You
going to start
right.
counting those wins.
You right. I agree with you 100%. Eddie Phillips says, any open leagues you're drafting tomorrow and need a guy. Any open leagues you're drafting tomorrow and need a guy. I'm that guy. Okay, Eddie. Yes. Hit me up at fantasygoodsports@gmail.com and I'll send you the link. I do got a league out there. Hopefully it fills up. Because I don't want to be drafting at work on a Thursday right before the game starts. So just hit me up, bro, at fantasygoodsports@gmail.com. And as soon as the league fills, we'll start drafting. Stacy Lewis, what's going on, girl? Miracle Ballers says double tap the screen and hit the like button. Show some love to the channel. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Appreciate that, Miracle Ballers. MVM says, who should I start, Harvey or Dobbins? I have Henderson as well. I'm starting.
Henderson.
Yeah, you got to start Henderson over Dobbins and Harvey. That's a split backfield. Henderson, you can say it's a split, but he has a special role that's different than what Harvey's going to get immediately.
Man, I think he's got an RB1 role there. They've just been hiding it right now. I'm telling you.
Agree with that.
I've been trying to
I
trade for
thought they was
them.
going to trade with Mondre. I thought they was going to trade with Mondre.
I think they will. They've got time, right? But he'll
Got you.
fumble again, and Vrabel will get pissed off, and then he won't seal the field because like he doesn't. He's not Bill's. Like that's Bill's guy, not Vrabel's guy.
Right. Sport Dog 1000 says TD 100. I don't know if you're taking a sit and start questions. I'm taking them all, bro. Whatever questions you have, pause. He said, would you start George Pickens on Thursday? Yes, depending on who I got. He says, I also have Terry McLaurin. You got to start Terry McLaurin over George Pickens.
Oh yeah,
Khalil Shakur, Keenan Allen, or Rashid Shaheed. You have to start Terry McLaurin over George Pickens. I hate
I
to say
would
it. I
too.
love George Pickens, but Terry McLaurin is a better start than George Pickens, at least week one.
Every week,
No, your
Terry
question is going to
McLaurin.
get answered, Sport Dog. Yeah, your question is going to get answered, Sport Dog. You are a member. I'm going to get to you, bro. Yep. All right, let's go answer some of these guys that's not members yet. Untie him. I hope I'm pronouncing your name right. He says if CMC drops to 10, I might have to mini heart attack before I click draft. Bro, I don't think you should think about it that much. I think you need to go ahead and hit yes, like accept or draft. I love CMC. I'm taking CMC at the 1-7, even the 1-6 sometimes. Long as Jameer Gibbs and B. John Robinson is off the board, I'm taking CMC every single time. How you
I'm
feel about
passing.
drafting CMC at the 110? You passing?
I'm passing. I got burned on him last year. I got burned on him another time like years ago. That's why I was so hesitant last year to take him at the 101. Took him, and then I got one goddamn game out of him. So I will never touch him ever again. He's burned me twice. There will not be a
Right,
third time. But I
right,
can't blame anybody that does it at the same time. You know
right,
what I mean? I get it, but
right.
like he's like a walking band-aid.
Let's see here. Okay, we got Kenny 49ers. His Dak going to Dak. I guess you're asking how Dak going to be. I think Dak is going to throw for 5,000 yards this season and probably have close to 40 TDs if everybody stays healthy.
Yeah, they got to throw a lot. That running game is going to be crap unless they trade for
Right.
one, which
Yeah, I think his interceptions. Uh huh.
I keep hearing Brees Hall might be going there
Yeah, I think that's a good target. I think
because they
that's a
like
good
Braylon
target.
Allen that much. They want to get him more playing time, and Isaiah
Right, right,
Davis as well.
right. The only thing that interceptions are going to go up, I think, because he's going to have to push the ball downfield.
Yep.
No run game. Kenny says Burrow, Chase, and Purdy, Kittle were my favorite stacks last year. Lamar Henry also nice. Yes, Lamar Henry is. A lot of people that ain't been talking about stacking a quarterback with a running back. I'm one of the first guys out here to say that. To me, I'm willing to stack anybody if it correlates. Reason why I'm stacking Lamar and Henry, it correlates. Like Maximus said earlier, when they get to and this team is probably gonna be the number one offense. So every time they get to the green zone, I'm getting a TD, bro. Unless they kick a field goal, unless Keith Mitchell comes in and runs it in, and I just don't see that unless the game is totally out of control. So I feel like Lamar and Derrick Henry is going to get me all those first, second, and third quarter points, and then in the fourth quarter, if they up by 20 points, then I might, have to deviate. Maybe it doesn't happen that way, but I think it's going to happen if they in a close game, and I feel great about that stack. Or have you ever stacked a quarterback and a running back together, or
Oh,
this is a special type of stack?
I use triple stack a lot as long as it
Yeah,
fits. As
right.
long as it fits. Like when I first got into fantasy football, I had Garrison Hurst was a starting running back, but I took Frank Gore, knowing that he would be taking over that year. I took Terrell
Okay.
Owens, who was just about to break out, and I had Jeff Garcia. So I had that triple
Okay.
stack. So like I freaking dominated the league. Like nobody, I went undefeated, won the championship like my first year playing, and like, oh, I'm hooked now. But I've done
Right.
probably the
Right.
triple stack probably 5, 6 times. Like
Mm.
years where I like thought it out, but it has to be the right situation. Like the greatest show on turf, right? Marshall
Right.
Falk,
Right. Right.
Warner, and Isaac Bruce. That's a perfect triple stack too.
Right. You're not gonna get Sam Darnold and JSN and Kenneth Walker, right?
No, no, it's got to be the right combination. Like
Facts. Big
I think
facts.
the Joe Burrow, Chase and Brown. That one's you could do, but it's like a
Right.
lower end one in my mind.
Right. And he says Chase Brown, that is. Either way, it don't matter. I don't like the I would rather have Jamar and Burrow, but I get what you're saying. To me, the reason why I got Lamar and Derrick Henry, I believe like So Lamar can run the ball in too. So I can get that touchdown. Burrow, if he throws it, I guess you get. I guess you getting 6 points too. Okay, it's the same thing. It's the same thing.
Yep.
Yeah, it's the same thing. Kenny 49er says Chase Brown. That is okay. We got that. The Gold Network says they signed Hendrickson to a 1 year, $14 million deal. Okay, we talked about that earlier. Sam Mason, what's going on, Sam Mason? He says, is Jaden Daniels the greatest football player of all time? He's on his way to be that. If he has another big season and he finishes as the number 2 quarterback, I would say he started off his first 2 years as the best ever. Am I wrong? You've been watching football a little bit longer than me, Maximus. But would I be wrong if I to say that he was the best quarterback starting off his first 2 years of his career if he goes to another NFC championship?
No, you'd be right up there. Like, and I think it's that virtual headset that he practices on, right? Like, he plays that thing at 150% speed. So guys are like, when he's doing that virtual head stuff, the team's coming at him times like 1.5 times speed. So when he gets to game time, he's like, the game is so slow for me that I see things coming. And you can input they run videotapes through AI and they get the play call and how the defense would call stuff and move and all that sort of stuff. So he's like, I know how
Mm-hmm.
these guys all move. So I'm very interested to see what he's going to do. I don't think he's going to have a sophomore slump at all. I'm expecting him
Mm-hmm.
to be great again. And I think he's going to be the number 1 fantasy quarterback though after this year.
Mm. I can't sit there and argue with you. I love Lamar. I love Josh Allen, but I mean, why can I break his game down? I mean, what I saw was fantastic. I can't say that he's going to regress or none of that. So I just haven't been getting to him because, like I told y'all, sometimes I just don't. I can't certain players. I'm just not going to draft because I'm drafting other guys. Doesn't mean I
Well,
think that player sucks.
remember when I told you about Wayne Simmons?
Mm-mm. What did you? Yeah, Wade Simmons, the guy
Ole
from
Miss
what? Yes, I saw that.
had
I
a
kept
freaking
telling
huge
everybody.
game.
You talked about how smart he was, how he already graduated early.
Well,
Yeah, I saw
I
all
was
of that.
talking about
Right,
Jaden Daniels to Alex when he was like starting for Arizona State.
right,
And then he
right.
went to
Okay,
LSU. I'm like, oh yeah, this guy's gonna freaking blow up.
right, right. And why did he leave Arizona just to get his name up there more? Why did he leave?
He wanted to
The
go
throw
and
to
prove
Navy.
himself in a top contender school to show what he could do.
Okay,
And
okay.
that's basically what he went out and did. Like, he should have been the number 1 pick, not Caleb Williams. Bears screwed up
So
there.
So you think if today, if today's game was back like 40 years ago, would you say, or 50 years ago, would you say that Dan Marino would have transferred into like just to
He's a hometown boy from Pittsburgh, right? So I think he would have stayed there. If you could start for your hometown team, you're going to start for your hometown team. The only reason Burrow left Ohio State was because he couldn't get the starting job. Jalen Hurts.
which is a great college quarterback, but he ain't Joe Burrow.
No, and
Joe, he was just a running guy.
Joe
He
said
was
he
just a
learned
running guy.
about football at Ohio State, but he went and played at LSU.
Right, right, right. Let's see. Pablo Mendez says no Tom Brady is. I don't know what that means. Kenny 49 says greatest player of all time is Barry Sanders, in my opinion. I thought Tyreek Hill is coming for Barry Sanders the way when I watched Barry, how he was unbelievable and could nobody never stop him. Maybe only 3 or 4 games his whole career. I see that in Tyreek Hill, but I would still put Barry in front of him. But I'm gonna mention a couple guys, and Maximus might mention a couple guys. OJ Simpson. OJ Simpson had 2,000. No, did he have 2,000 yards in a 13 game season?
Yeah, I think he did.
Was it
I think
12 games?
12 games. He did something in 12 games with yardage, so it might have been. I'm pretty sure it was a 2,000.
OJ was like that, guys. You can't look at the old OJ. Now Barry Sanders retired early, so that makes him look unbelievable to us. But I'm not gonna. If the guys only stay like 1 year too long, I'm not gonna sit there and kill these guys. But yeah, I would give it to Barry. Randy Moss was I'm talking about offensive. If you want to talk about of all time anybody on the field, including quarterbacks, Lawrence Taylor got to be up there. Lawrence Taylor might be one. Who would you say the number one football player of all time, Maximus?
Oh, it's definitely Lawrence. Like, it's not even a question. It's Lawrence Taylor. Like,
Right, right,
to be the greatest, you got to be able to be dropped into any generation. Lawrence Taylor was on a fishing trip on a Monday, driving by the stadium, sees the lights on, realizes he has the game, gets dressed, shows up halfway through the first quarter. Parcells benches him, and he wouldn't play him. And then he comes into the second quarter. He finally puts him out. He had like 6 sacks that game. He doesn't even know the names of football teams. He's like, he always asks Sims, like, what's the name of that team in New Orleans? Like, he would never know. He just knows the city, and Sims would have to tell him about the name of the team. Yeah, just
Facts.
at the purest form, right? That shit
Right,
doesn't matter. Just I'll get you the ball.
right, right. Guys, I'm sorry. My phone is going dead, so we're gonna have to go in the house and I'm gonna have to set some stuff up. Maxim, if you want to talk about something while I go get my charger real quick, I appreciate it.
All right, let's see what we got here. Well, we're talking about greatest all time. Got to talk about Jim Brown. He's also another guy you can drop in any generation. He was also a pass catcher back in the 50s and getting the ball. Let's see. I got there's a question here. I have Josh Allen. Should I flex both Shakir and Coleman, or Myers or Ollie Gordon? I wouldn't play Shakir and Coleman because if they get stopped, they're playing the Ravens. So that's going to be one of the best defenses. You don't want to have both of those guys because you'd definitely lose that game if you had all three in. I'd probably go Jacoby Myers. He's a nice safe floor. Ollie Gordon. Still want to see how that backfield kind of comes out in Miami before I would trust throwing him into the lineup, even with Jalen Wright out. And of course, oh yeah, Bo Jackson. He's another great one, but we got robbed of him. It was just too short. Nobody else would have got that injury. The only reason that Bo got that injury or his fibula broke was because his legs were so powerful that he was able to break through it where nobody else would have, and they would have went down.
Yes, Bo Jackson, if he never get hurt, he probably goes down as least the most athletic. I don't know. I would call him the most athletic, but would you say would have been the best player of all time? I mean, he
It's
probably would
hard
have
to
had
say,
what?
right? Like, because it was cut so short, and in that 2 years, like he was so great too. Like the runs and he would have got better. That's the thing too. Like he would have got better. He was only 2 years in the league. Once you hit year 3, year 4, that's when you hit your stride, and we got robbed of that. So
Right,
it's I can't debate against it, but it's still hard to say what ifs, right? Like if we had
right,
multiverse travel and could go and see, we could find out, but we don't.
right. Let's see. I think we got a super chat here. Let's go. Let's find this super chat from Chris Vila. He says, "Rate my team." Okay, put your team. Where your team at, bro? Put your team in, because it's kind of gonna be tough for me to go down the line. All
And
right,
if
come
you're
on
putting your
now.
team in, put in the league settings too. 12-team league, PPR, whatever.
Yeah. Yep. I get to it as soon as I see it. Okay, there you go, Chris. Okay, he got it right here at the bottom. He says quarterback Lamar, tight end Tyler Warren, wide receiver Lamb, London, McConkey, Golden, Pearsall, Leggett, running back Swift, Breach, Monagai, Ollie Gordon, Jaden Blue, Woody Morris. Okay, so Lamar, I like the Tyler Warren. Lamb in London, I got to give them respect. I'm not super high on all them, but they are number one wide receivers. McConkey, Golden, Pearsall, Leggett. I'm gonna give it a B plus. I like the plays. I like Leggett. I like Pearsall. I like McConkey, London, Lamb. One of those guys are probably gonna be a top 5 guy. between London and Lamb. If both of them is, your team is going to be an A. I give it a B plus. What you give it, Maximus? Do you need me to read it out to you again?
No, I got it there. Like,
Okay.
uh, definitely needs another running back unless Jalen Blue hits or Ollie Gordon, right? Because I do think Ollie Gordon at least cuts that into a 50-50 time split sometime in this season,
Right.
especially when the
Right.
weather gets colder and that speed gets neglected. That's when it's going to be Ollie Gordon season.
Right.
Let's move it up here. But it's a pretty good team overall. Like Tyler Warren, I think is going to be the focal point of that offense. Everybody thinks it's going to be Josh Downs, but I think it's going to be Tyler Warren. Those check downs too.
Right.
I love Lad McConkey. Drake London, I'm down on. I'm not big on him or Golden. Yeah, I'd probably be B plus. Pearsall, I like. I
Yeah.
like Leggett.
Right. And you keep working away. He said that's why he grabbed Swift handcuff, which is Managa at the end, because he doesn't have a lot of running backs. I think that's what he said.
Yeah, that's the way I would do it. Just try to have a team's running back room.
Right.
If you have,
Let's
if
see.
Isaiah Davis is out on the waiver wire, I'd try to go get him too.
Right.
In case Brees goes down, because then his usage would go up.
That's crazy. Sometimes they delete some guys. If I don't get to your comment, I apologize. But sometimes when I switch up my standings or how I look at the comments, it goes away. Like some of the top comments is gone. But right now where I'm at is Kenny 49 says no, his team's success was better. Okay. Let me make sure the all messages are visible. Okay, there we go. Hopefully that didn't. I think it did it again. Okay. I'm at David Manning. He says start Caleb Williams or Dak Prescott. I would say Dak Prescott easy.
Who are the Bears playing?
I don't know.
Let me find it here.
You gonna let the Eagles match up? Say not to start Dak.
Well, the Eagles got a good secondary.
They do, but I don't know if they're gonna hold because even in garbage time, Dak gonna be out there throwing the ball. I think he could still get his numbers in the garbage time.
Yeah, like Dax is way safer bet. I do like Dax, but Caleb like, it's close. But I'd like to see Caleb 1 week at least with Ben Johnson
I
before I
need me
trust
too.
him.
That's how I feel. I need to see it. Let me see it. I'm not gonna start it in the beginning to have Dak on my bench. I'm not gonna do that. Dak, like sometimes you gotta dance with the girl that you came to the party with.
Yep.
You go to the party, you're like, oh, this girl likes me, this girl likes me. You get a bunch of numbers, you think you're chilling, and the next day, you don't go home with nothing. So dance with the girl that you came with to the party with, and that's that. You drafted Dak Prescott before Caleb, start him. And if Caleb balls out and you like that, it's okay with starting Caleb week 2. But I'm okay with losing with Dak. I'm not okay with losing with Caleb Williams and Dak shows out. I'm not saying that's not the right move. The way I do my stars and sets, I'm gonna try to make the best assessment where if I lose, I'm okay with it. I don't want to be upset if I lose and say, "Damn, why the hell did I do that?" I don't like to do that. I think that's second guessing yourself and it makes fantasy very hard. Kenny says, Pickens or JMO this week. I'm going with. Ooh, that's tough. That is very tough. I'm going with JMO.
Yeah, me too.
Pablo says, nope, any team from this era is probably better than a lot of teams back then. Yes and no. Them teams back then will hit you in the mouth. And what I mean is they run blocking is way, way, way different. Larry
Yeah.
Allen, I don't see no Larry Allens out here.
Hey, there's a lot of quarterbacks in this league people think are elite that you couldn't drop 20 years ago to play, then alone 40 years ago. Like, I don't think Tyreek Hill is a generational player. You put him in some of those leagues back in the day, especially with Night Train Lane in the back or Ronnie Lott, and they just come up and plow him and little body. Like, I don't think he could take those hits back in the day that you could do, man. Like,
But he
you would have, they were
205
able to
though.
hit you and time it with the ball better, and they could
They
hit you in the
was.
face. Like, I don't
They
think Tyreek could take that stuff, man. Like, you could
yeah, you're right.
torpedo and hit a guy on the chin. Like,
Yeah,
Tyreek
you
would be
could.
out
You
cold.
could.
Like, I don't.
You
That's why I
could.
don't think he's generational.
But you picked Tyreek for that though? What about Keenan Allen?
Oh, I don't think he could either. Like,
No,
look at him now
but
today. He can't stay healthy. But like, I'm
right,
using the guy that's like elite still.
right, right. I got you. But I do think Tyreek could take it better than some of the bigger wide receivers because of his stature. He is built like a running back. He did play running back in college. He does have that type of stature. But only few players, Terrell Owens, a few guys. Randy Moss was so damn good. He just would say, "I ain't running that route" when nobody say nothing. And they, because he was like, "I'm not gonna get get my head knocked off." And he was so good where he could try to catch the ball and get down. Now, it's a lot of guys that could not take a torpedo to the face. Very
Oh
few
no,
guys could get up off of that. Chad Johnson is a guy that could play all eras. He was another guy that I think is sneaky tough.
yeah, but
Amon-Ra
he
St. Brown. Yeah, go ahead.
well, St. Brown still has a little bit more to prove. I don't like
Yeah. But
judging
he's
guys
tough
until their
though.
career's done. Oh yeah, he's tough.
Yeah. I'm just talking about the tough guys who could actually take a hit, have a
Like
concussion, get up, take the smelling salt, and go back in the game and make the catch.
like George
That's the
Kittle, you could
difference.
drop anyway. You drop George
George
Kittle
Kittle could
back in the
drop.
day.
Rob Gronkowski, you could drop him in. It's a lot of it's not a lot, but it's a few guys that you could do it.
Like
What about Joe Burrow?
quarterback wise, Matt Stafford.
Yeah, hell
Like,
yeah,
he's
Matthew
a tough son
Stafford.
of a
Yep.
bitch. Like
Jake Cutler.
yeah, I don't know about like most of these guys today. Like they whine anytime they get touched. Like you couldn't do that back in the day. They just hit you harder and more because they know they're getting to you. You just had to
And your
suck it
offensive
up,
line will
get
cuss
up,
your ass out too.
and
Right. They'd be like, man, quit
sometimes
whining.
sometimes your line would pick you up, and you'd still have to with your the wind knocked out of you, get the play out that the coach is getting into you.
And call the play out, even though you got a concussion. That's what people
Yep.
don't understand. You know how I know I played. You know how many times I probably had a concussion, but I had to go and regroup myself and not show no weakness to my team. Like I had to be like, yeah, I'm good. Oh, that was a good hit. Yeah, I'm good. And I'm hurting. I don't want to be hit no more. My stomach is hurting. I'm dizzy. The dude is 200 pounds. I don't want him to hit me no more, but I got to get up, put my mouthpiece in. I got to go do it over. You don't have to do that no more. It's a different game.
Yeah.
Basketball is like that too.
Look at Anthony Richardson.
Yeah. Yeah. That wouldn't happen. That wouldn't happen. They would pick on him if he was big as he is. Let me see. Kenny says, at taking days off, maybe. Sammy T says Jaden Blue or Sampson season long. I'm going with Sampson.
Yeah, so am I.
Pablo says, yeah, and they still whoop the old era. I don't know if they would whoop the old era. If you give
They,
them the old era rules, now if you have to, they can't hit you. Yeah, you gonna whoop them because Rod Wilson, none of these guys, and Sean Taylor, not these type of guys, and even back to Dick Night Train
oh man,
Lane, who killed the man on the field. I hate to say that. I hope I don't get flagged for this video. He what you call, what's a safe way to put it?
unalived.
He unalived the man on the field, guys, and the NFL had to pay that family off back in the day.
You know why they
Back in
call
the
him
day.
Night Train Lane?
Now, why did they call him Night Train Lane?
He refused to get on a plane, so he always took the midnight train to where they were playing.
And I don't blame him, especially back in the day. Ain't getting on no plane. I
Yeah,
agree, man. I hate it
and
now. John Madden, I love John Madden. John
he's
Madden came out and said,
also
I'm retiring.
the incident you're
Yeah, go ahead.
talking about is also the reason we
Yeah.
have the face mask rule today.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because that was his move. He'd run at you full tilt, grab you by the face mask, and rip you.
Right. Hey man, you a connoisseur like me, man. What did you find that out? I learned that when I was NFL
Oh,
Network guy. I
it's
saw it
on
on
his
NFL Network.
football life on the NFL Network.
Yeah, that's it. That's
And
it.
that
And
he's
he
one crazy son of a bitch, man. Like when he's talking, he's
yes,
so calm. He's like, I learned really quickly that if you grabbed the guy's face mask and wrenched his neck, he was going down every time.
right. And you want to talk about being a star and dating stars? He dated, who did he date? Who was that woman? The a great the African American lady,
Oh, I
very very
don't.
pretty.
I wouldn't have a clue about that stuff. That
Yeah,
stuff
yeah,
doesn't
but
stay in my head.
yeah. But I knew because they was talking about them going to like BB King concerts and stuff, and they was like the star couple of the NFL back. And that's back in the day. Yeah. Um. Let me see. They said, "Whoa, Jacoby Myers is officially a Dallas Cowboy." Guys, go get Dante Thornton right now. Go get him right now.
I just
Amari
plug it
Cooper
in.
will be playing in the slot. Amari Cooper will be playing in the slot. Dante Thornton will be on the outside. And the other outside wide receiver would be who? I'm trying to think. Who's the other outside wide receiver? Would it be just Amari Cooper and Dante Thornton?
If they got rid of Jack Beck's going to get some play time then.
There you go. There you go. But guys, definitely go get Dante Thornton. I got him stashed on a bunch of leagues. Yes. That's what happens. That's what I love this about fantasy.
Hey,
I'm
I was
always
on
staying
Dante
ahead of that.
Thornton before the draft.
Yes, you did. You did. You was talking about him early before I even knew who his name.
Yeah, he was one
You
of
and
my
Alex,
top
that's
five
not fair.
guys.
Right. That's not fair to try to talk about a rookie coming with you and Alex. Well, y'all been looking at these guys for 4 years since they came out of high school.
Yep. We start looking
Yeah.
at them in high school sometimes.
Right, right, right,
Like I've been watching Arch Manning probably since his junior year in high school.
right. Philly Mike OG. Appreciate that, brother. That was good news right there. Tron says someone offered me Chuba, Myers, and Diggs for CMC Hollywood. They offered Chuba, Jacoby Myers, and Diggs for CMC in Hollywood. You know what? If I got plenty of running back depth, if I got more than just Chuba, if I got two more other guys that are top 12 potential guys, yeah, hell yeah, I'm going to do that to get the CMC. What do you think?
Now, I think you're kind of being a bit of a hypocrite here. Because don't you
Okay.
have Chuba Hubbard as being a top 5 running back?
I think he has the potential to. Yes.
Okay, well, I think he's going to be up there too. And I think he
I
has a
think
better
so too.
season than Christian McCaffrey. So I would be jumping at
Right.
that trade.
Right. I just can't. It's CMC. Right? It's CMC. And so just like listen, I love let me give you a wide receiver that I really like this
Right?
year.
They didn't go
I love
trade for
Jameson
Brian
Williams.
Robinson for a reason, man. They drafted 2 running backs, brought in a whole bunch of undrafted ones, and then they went and traded for Brian
Right.
Robinson when there was opportunity.
Right.
So I
Right.
don't think even
But
the
the
49ers are
right.
100% on Christian McCaffrey.
Right. So I'm high on Jameson Williams this year. But if somebody try to give me Jamar Chase for him, even though I'm not drafting Jamar Chase at the 101, I have to take that trade in the beginning of the season. I have to take it. Now, CMC is a little bit different, but the way I'm looking at CMC at the 1-9, 110 with his upside, and he still is healthy with no type of well, he had just a little bit of a toe injury today. That to me, I'm never gonna tell nobody not to trade unless you're doing a lateral trade. Unless it's like CMC and B. John, CMC and Jameer Gibbs, CMC and Derrick Henry. But CMC and Chuba, I love Chuba, but I had to tell him to go get the guy who has the consensus top 5 finish. But he does have injury history, so I get it. I get what you're saying. I'm not arguing what you're saying. If you want to hold on to Chuba, that's fine. But I can't. I don't want to be biased. I learned that years ago. I used to tell guys, "No, man, I like Christian Watson. Don't trade." And then the guy would have 4 or 5 good weeks, and I would look like a fool even though my guy might end up being good later on.
Yeah. I
That's the
would
only reason
keep
why. But I get what
Dante
you're saying.
Thornton.
What'd you say?
Well, someone keeps posting, would you drop Dante Thornton for Luther Burton?
No, I wouldn't drop Dante Thornton for no Luther Burton. Hell
No,
no.
neither would I.
Um, he said, "Would you consider this?" He says, "This guy also has Kamara. My other running back is Barkley, so he has a good running back field. I think having Barkley and CMC would be to me is a good move. But if you like Truba, you really high on Truba, you trust Truba. You know CMC does have injury history. Okay. David Manning says Myers is a cowboy for real. Pablo says couldn't keep it couldn't keep up with me, Kenny. Jay Moore says, I don't know why this thing keep going down. I think it's so many damn comments. Jay Moore says, thought on Rice coming back from his suspension. What do you? I think Rice is going to be a top 12 guy coming back off of suspension. But I do like a Xavier Worthy why that he is on suspension. But how do you feel about Rice? Are you drafting a lot of Rice and are you stashing him?
In seasonal, I'm not drafting him at all. It always takes guys a year to come back from that knee injury.
Right,
Always.
right.
Like you might be physically well, but you still got to get past the mental part when guys are falling around your knee and all that stuff. Even Tom Brady, after his knee injury, struggled. Like the
Right, he
only
did.
person who I've seen that never struggled after their knee injury, and that was the one who changed the ACL forever, was Adrian Peterson. You know what I mean? He's really the only guy. Everybody else was shy. Adrian Peterson, he just didn't
He
give a
was
shit.
better.
He's
He
like,
was better.
yeah, he's like, this freaking improves me. I feel freaking stronger, and it showed. Like he had his best season after that.
Bruh, his healing powers is incredible. Even as an older guy, man, he could heal. I don't want to talk about him being broke right now, but yeah, I mean Adrian Peterson is incredible. Let's see. Okay. Somebody says star two, Debo, RJ Harvey, or Ridley. I would start Debo and Ridley. You can't start Harvey with J.K. Dobbins.
Yeah, I agree.
Kyle Siebert Audio says, I have Josh Allen. Should I flex both Shakir and Coleman or Myers or Ollie Gordon? I would flex Coleman and Shakir over Myers and Ollie Gordon. I can't start Ollie Gordon week one. Who you flexing?
Well, I answered this when you were off, but now if Myers has been traded, that changes that because Myers is not playing tomorrow night,
Right.
so you can take him off that list. So who is the other guy?
Ollie Gordon, Shakir and
Yeah.
Coleman, or Myers
Now,
or
yeah,
Ollie Gordon.
yeah. See, now I would start both Bills guys
Yes.
because you don't know what Ollie Gordon's going to do yet.
Right. You don't. I need to see it with A Chain is starting, so I will hold off. David Menace says I think Rice will be back at it when he gets back. Paulo says, let me see. Okay. Kyle says I have Josh Allen. Should I? Okay, we did that one. Dev Patel says any strategy for streaming defenses or kickers? I'll leave this up to you. I don't really play in a lot of defense and kickers leagues.
Well, you just go on and look who's got the highest points against and points for, and kind of go that route and just see who's got the better defense going against a weak offense. I kind of like who's ever playing the Saints. I probably want that defense. Who's ever playing the Jets? I probably want that defense. Like that's kind of
Yeah.
what I look for. Like who's ever playing these last place teams because they're last for a reason.
David Menace says Gordon will have points early this year. They need his run style. So are they gonna give him goal line touches? Are they gonna give him green zone touches?
I don't think they give
I
them
don't
as many
know.
touches as people think these first few weeks because that's when their speed can be taken advantage of, right?
Yep, in the
Because I
sun in
think
the
Ollie Gordon
beginning, right?
comes in like mid October. That's when Ollie Gordon's going to start becoming something.
If he does, if A Chain falls off, something got to happen to A Chain. If A Chain is being healthy, he's gonna keep getting all the touches that really matter to give you fantasy points. Ollie just gonna go and keep him healthy. So that's what matters. But if something happens to A Chain, he had an ankle injury. That's when Gordon's value is gonna take off. And if Gordon can play a couple games like Raheem Mostert did without A Chain and have a good game, then that's when Gordon's gonna have. But I don't think Gordon's gonna come in while A Chain is healthy and have 2 touchdowns in a game. I just don't believe that. Now, if Tyreek gets traded, I might like Ollie Gordon a little bit because I think they run the ball a little bit more, kind of like they did with Tevin Coleman and Raheem Mostert and Jeff Wilson. But I believe, that's only when Tyreek gets traded. That's just my 2 cents on that. Fred says, should I be worried to start Travion Henderson week one because he came out as RB3 on the depth chart?
Who do they have as two?
Probably Antonio Gibson and Ramondre Stevenson.
No, I wouldn't be worried about that. Like,
I wouldn't either. I wouldn't either. You don't go and take him where you did and do what you did with him in the preseason and say that he's the number three. That's just all for looks. That's you gotta have to. That's when like I think football knowledge comes in. Guys, you can put your ass number three on the depth chart. That don't mean anything. This is the professional league. If the guy's playing out of his mind, same thing with RJ Harvey and J.K. Dobbins. J.K. Dobbins will get the start, but if RJ Harvey breaks a long run early, uh oh, Sean Payton, what did he do with Adrian Peterson? He took Adrian Peterson and benched his ass because Alvin Kamara was getting more yards per carry. So go with the best talent. That always works itself out. It may take a couple games. Um, Davis is bench one full PPR. Henderson, DK, Pearsall, Pacheco. I'm benching Pacheco.
Yeah, me too.
David, okay, David said okay. Kenny says OJ was a big dude. He was big. He was just tall. He wasn't like a big like a Jerome Bettis or anything. He was just a tall, lanky dude that could run really, really fast. He ran like a 10.5, 10.4, and that's really, really fast on concrete. That's really, really fast on concrete. Uh Kenny 49 said LT is a defensive god.
Defensive guy can't be the best of all time.
Yeah, I guess he said defensive god.
Oh, it's okay. I thought you said guy.
Yeah, god.
My bad.
Sport Dog says TD team PPR. I have two flex spots. One will have Alvin Kamara. Not sure of my second flex. Pickens. Javante. I don't know if that's Jameson. I think that's Jameson Williams. Khalil Shakur, Jalen Warren, Shakir. Wait a minute. Yeah, he put Shakir twice or Keenan Allen. I would probably say Jameson Williams over Jalen Warren. Those are the two guys that I would put in. I would play either Jameson Williams or Jalen Warren. Who are you playing for the second flex
Yeah,
outside of Kamara?
Williams and Warren.
Yeah, that was one of those guys at that spot. I would probably go with I might well go with Warren over Jameson. Even though I like Jameson, I'm going with the running back.
Yeah, I'd go with Jameson, man, because the Steelers are playing the Jets, who got a freaking tough front seven.
Mm. I still would go with Warren for PPR upside too, but I love Jameson. But I'm always gonna go with the running back when it's close. If I don't know, that's my 2 cents on that. Um, Kyle says I have Josh Allen. Should I flex both Shakir and Coleman? Oh, okay, we did that already. They put the questions in there twice. Um, Eddie Phillips says Deion Sanders is the best player of all time. I guess he's talking about defense, but Deion is maybe top 7 players of all time. I don't know if he's the best player of all time. He's definitely top 7, definitely top 10. How you feel about Deion? You think Deion's a top 10 player of all time?
Yeah, he's top 10. I don't know if he's top 5. Like,
Right, right.
you get up near that top, there's a lot of great players. Like, you got to be dominant for a long time, and it took Dion a little bit of time to get into his own. Like, he wasn't dominant right off the start.
Right.
Like, he only had 4 interceptions in college
Mm.
in 4 years.
Right, right. David Manning says, should I start Caleb Williams or Dak Prescott? I'm
We did
starting
this
Dak
one.
Prescott. Yeah, we
We,
did.
we did that one.
Okay. Chris Villa says we did that one too. Kenny $40 says injuries steal so much great football from us. It's part of the game. I mean, look at Gale Sayers.
That's how Kyle Shanahan calls plays. You got to
Right.
go
Look at
balls
Pick.
out to the wall every play, or you're not getting play time.
Right. Also, look at Piccolo, who caught cancer. He didn't get to finish his career and died as a young man. Aldo says start two. Debo, RJ Harbor, really full PPO. I'm going with Debo and Ridley.
Yeah, we did that one.
Yeah, I think so. TJ Reed says Reggie Wright was unstoppable and crazy strong, except for when he went against Eric Williams. Eric Williams dominated Reggie White. Eric Williams is the left tackle for the Cowboys. He used to sling Reggie White to the ground. Yeah, that's a 270-pound man that can run and strong as an ox. Eric Williams would sling him to the ground. Kenny 49 said Eric Dickerson first 2 years of his career was awesome. Awesome. Unbelievable. But we've seen a lot of really good running backs to come in the league and they take over. You see that from running backs a lot. Somebody says Bruce Smith. I don't think he's up there. Not not with those guys. Let's see here. So running back to look at your wide receiver on free agent, you might find and feel okay. It's double flex. Okay. A lot of these questions are just being repeated. Is is that this year's Burrow from Kenny 49ers?
Well, Burrows is this year, Burrows.
Right,
Dax is probably like
right,
right behind him though, because
right,
like
right.
the
As a pocket
Cowboys,
quarterback.
the Cowboys do have a good secondary. It's just they're questionable up front.
Right. Man of God says, will Nico Collins be a top 5 wide receiver? Yes, I believe so. If he stays healthy.
Man, it's going to be tough with that offensive line that Houston's got. They're going to have no time to get Nico the ball. I think it's going to be more. Didn't they just trade for Christian Kirk?
Mm-hmm.
So I think he's going to steal a lot of targets just because Stroud's going to have to get that ball out quick. So it'll be
Mm,
hard to get. It'll be hard to get Nico those on those 10-yard routes.
right. Eddie Phillips says Dak has to throw to keep up. That's facts. Kenny 49 says Houston has to throw a lot with running back situation. Uh,
I don't think they're
let's
as bad as
see.
people think.
Who?
Houston at the running back position. Nick Chubb,
Mm,
Damian Pierce, and then Woody Marks.
I like Damian Pierce. I don't know about Woody Marks, but I do like Damian Pierce.
Woody Marks, my comp for him was Joe Mixon. So I
That's
like Woody
probably why
Marks a
they
lot.
drafted him.
Yep.
Benny Blanco says 8-man fantasy league. Daniels quarterbacks. Gibbs RB1, Kyron's RB2, wide receiver Collins, wide receiver 2 Higgins, tight end Laporta, flex Flowers, flex 2 Waddle Thoughts. I think you can do better than Laporta in an 18 league at tight end. I think you should be able to find. Maybe you can't, but I think it's another tight end like Njoku or somebody out there. Even Warren, I even like Tyler Warren over Laporta. I love Flowers. I think you might be able to find somebody better than Waddle. But I'm not telling you to drop Waddle, but you might be able to find somebody better than Waddle. Kenny says, TD loves Tyreek. Yeah, you know that. You know I love Tyreek. Kenny says Ronnie Lott was a hit man back then. Yeah, Ronnie Lott was. He broke the tip of his finger off and kept playing. They cut it off. Who the hell doing that in this
Well,
today's game?
they told him he couldn't play because he had to go to the hospital get stitched up. And he goes, What would happen if you ripped off my finger?" And they said, "Well, we could stitch you up. You can go back out." So he said, "Take my finger."
Yeah, people ain't built like that.
Nope. Game mattered to guys back then.
Craig says that's crazy. Everyone is bigger and stronger today, but they ain't tougher. I'm gonna tell you
Nope.
that, bro. I'm gonna tell you that.
Hey, and could they breathe even on the sidelines when they weren't playing? When their fellow teammates are smoking on the sideline,
Right, right.
drinking beers.
Drink a beer at halftime. Right. Yeah, David Menace says Tyreek got me demoted from captain. That doesn't matter to me. I just say when y'all gonna trade him. When you gonna trade him? Kenny 49 says bigger isn't always better or stronger. Benny Blanco says Steve Smith. Steve Smith could play in today in like the back in the day. Steve Smith could play.
Oh yeah, Steve Smith would dominate because he could do some of the stuff he got called on penalties. That was legal back in the day.
Yeah. Chris says Cheetah's still gonna eat. Some people just have a nose for the ball or a nose for the end zone. Big facts. Jimmy TV says Commanders listed JCM as fourth on the depth chart. Ahead of him is Austin Eckler, Jeremy McNichols, and Chris Rodriguez. People are drafting this guy in the first 8 rounds. It's crazy. No, it's not, Jimmy. You can't worry about that roster spot. You think now if they had, I would feel like it was rough if they had Brian Robinson. You think Austin Eckler is going to be lead this team? You think Jeremy McNichols is going to lead this team, or you think Chris Rodriguez? I think it's going to be a committee at the at the worst. That's what I think. But I'm not going to sit here and think Jeremy McNichols or Austin Eckler is going to keep Bob from actually being the start on the team.
Well, the reason they traded Brian Robinson too was because they told him it was going to be a 50-50 split with Chikori. And he's
Right.
like, no, I want to be featured. So they said, okay, well, then we'll trade you. And he said, okay, trade me.
Right.
And now you're second fiddle to Christian McCaffrey. How'd that work out for you?
Right. Oh, this dude is crazy right here. So Kenny 49 says, I like Water this year. Then Kenny said, oh yeah, then he's talking about Unalive. And then Kenny says, yes, sir. And then B Silver says Whoopi Goldberg. And what he's saying, that's just another guy. Why do you want that guy? Whoopi Goldberg. Hey man, you crazy as hell, B Silver. Because I usually use a little a metaphor when I talk about Whoopi. I'm like, man, why you gonna choose Whoopi Goldberg when you got Salma Hayek, you got Margot Robbie here. Why you picking Whoopi Goldberg? Who wants Whoopi Goldberg? Whoopi Goldberg used to be good back in the day, so he's talking about somebody we was talking about. I wonder who he's talking about. DW says better PPR flex, Xavier Worthy or DJ Moore. I say Xavier Worthy.
I like DJ Moore.
I don't think you're wrong with saying that.
Trying him out in the backfield, so he's going to be used like Debo.
Right. Dakota says Rice is the best player to ever put on a pass, not even close. Jerry Rice.
Yeah,
I don't
see,
think he's better than Lawrence Taylor.
I put Rice second, but they're so different, right? They went a bit different ways. Jerry Rice was like dedicated to his craft, constantly working. Lawrence Taylor just point me in the direction I got to hit, people.
Right.
But magic on the football field.
Right.
Like I'd even put
Poker
Troy
gut.
Polamalu up there.
Yeah, I would too. I would too. I wouldn't put him top five, maybe I don't maybe 5 or 6 or something like that. I don't know if I put him over Deion Sanders. I don't know. It's tough. I got to think about it. Poker gut says Dylan Sampson or Ollie Gordon. I'm going with Dylan Sampson.
Yep.
Eddie Phillips says John Riggers was a dog. They called him Diesel. Yeah, John Riggers was like that. That white boy could play football. Somebody says fake news. So maybe the Jacoby Myers was fake news. David Mendes says, would you drop Dante Thornton for Luther Burton? No. Poker Gut says non-fantasy news. Bucks right tackle Gadecki signed a 4-year, $88 million extension. Maybe he's just a good really tackle. Then I didn't know that.
Can we wrap this up soon, Jerry?
Kenny 49 says it is confirmed Jacoby really a Cowboy. David Manning says, would you drop Dante Thornton for Luther Burden? No, we already did that. Poker says Tech McMillan can be a top 5 wide receiver. They got no one else to throw to. I think they got Xavier Leggett. I think they got Jatavian Sanders.
Yeah, and then they got Jimmy Horn.
Jimmy Horn, right.
Chris
Chris says, I think Jacoby is fake news, guys. Nicola says Niners get it. They just add talent. Kenny Fournette, so I thought they were giving Jacoby a raise. Okay. Ed Tate says, who you like better, Christian Kirk or Houston with Houston or Deontay Thornton? Dante Thornton. I like Dante Thornton over Christian Kirk because I'm not getting to him. Even if he have a couple good top 24 finishes, I just don't think he can keep that up. I'd rather get to somebody who got a little bit more upside. So Christian Kirk, if you need a starter immediately, he's put him in the flex. But for you got him on the bench, I don't want a guy like Kirk on my bench unless I'm playing defense. Uh, Somebody said, watch your drink around Bill Krosky. B Silver says, no official news on Jacoby Myers trade. Okay, we going back and forth. David Manning says, what do you think about Marvin Mims and the wide receivers for Denver? I think it's Cortland Sutton, and we're gonna have to watch a few games to find out who's gonna be the number two.
I gotta get going here
Um,
soon, Terry.
okay, that's fine. If you got to get go, man, just go ahead. I'll finish up the live, bro.
All right.
Yep.
All right. Well, I'll talk to you later then, man.
All right. You be safe, bro.
All right. Have fun
All right.
finishing it off.
Yeah. Yep. You too. Poker Gut says they don't answer this chat, guys. That's cap. I answer every single question in the chat. The Go Network says not seeing Jacoby trade yet. Okay, RJ gonna be a slow burn. DeAndre Swift or Tech McMillan for the flex. I'm going with DeAndre Swift over Tech. Poker Gut says about to bounce and bring my crap jokes elsewhere. Poker Gut says Panthers have no one else to throw to. Okay. Okay. B Silver says any concerns with Devon A. Chain preseason injury and drafting him in the second round, or Tyreek Hill being removed as captain? Does this lead to the probability of him being traded? So, any concerns with Devon A. Chain preseason injury and drafting him in the second round? No, I'm still drafting him because of the value. Now, after it's a few players like Nico Collins, Brock Bowers, and a top of the line quarterback. Once they gone, I will take Devon A. Chain or Tyreek Hill being. Does this lead to a probability of him? I think I don't think Tyreek Hill. I thought he would already been traded. I think they trying to look for people to trade him with, but I don't think they of getting the value that they want. But I won't be surprised if Tyreek Hill gets traded. I always think that he can get traded, but this is Tyreek Hill, so it doesn't take a lot to throw it to speed. He's going to be open. He just needs a quarterback who can get him the ball. So yes, he probably will end up getting traded. And if he does, it doesn't matter. He said, "What do you think about Marvin Mims in Denver?" Again, I think you could just have to be patient. We don't know if it's going to be Troy Franklin or Marvin Mims or Pat Bryant. X Bleezy says Rome or Debo in the flex. I'm going with Debo in the flex. Justin says start London, Ibuka, Pearsall to flex. My wide receiver one is Chase. My wide receiver two is JSN. I would say start London over Ibuka and Pearsall. BT says Travion is not number 3 on the depth chart. No, he ain't. CHB says, what about JCM? They have him listed as RB4. They're just listing him, bruh. I wouldn't pay no attention to that. Now, don't start in week 1, but just know that he has a chance to be into a committee, to be getting carries. B7 said DK and Zay left a bad taste last year. I'm not sure if I can trust them as wide receiver 1 and 2s this year in redraft. Gotcha. Understandable. Thoughts on Montgomery? Just another guy. Now he will get more carries later on in the season, but I think that Jahmyr Gibbs is going to get a lot of goal line carries this year, more than usual. So it's going to hurt Montgomery early in the season, in the first and second quadrant. But the third and fourth quadrant, when they already got their playoffs sold up, then they use Montgomery to keep Gibbs from getting hurt. Kenny 49 says Bateman and Likely will be nice targets, yes, especially on bye week. 1A says, who lied there? That has been no trade of Jacoby Myers to the Cowboys. I don't know why somebody put that. That might have been fake news. Kenny 49 says DK and Aaron will be fighting in a few weeks. Um, Watson says 12-man PPR quarterback. Daniels running back, Taylor and Henderson. Okay. Watson, make sure you become a member of the channel, man, if you want your team rated. I'm gonna do a look, guys. This year I'm not gonna be rating everybody's team in the chat if you're not a member of the channel. But he says quarterback is Daniels, running backs is Taylor and Henderson. Wide receivers are Lamb and Waddle, Flex, Ibuka and Pearsall, McBride. Daniels, Taylor, and Henderson. Lamb and Waddle, Ibuka and Pearsall. That's a B plus team, bro. I like your flexes. You got Ibuka and Pearsall. The only person that I don't like is Waddle. The rest of the guys are really good on your starting lineup, bro. That's a B plus team. I would have gave it A minus, but I'm nitpicking Waddle. Ken Kwan says Pollard or Tracy, half point PPR. I'm going with Pollard over Tracy because I know Pollard doesn't have no. I mean, he might have a backup there, but he's going to get all the goal line touches. And the half point PPR, you trying to get touchdowns. Martin Castillo, he says need to, bruh. He says start Ibuka, Golden, or George Pickens, cutting edge content. I would start Ibuka over Golden and Pickens. I would start Ibuka over Golden and Pickens. And I would start Ibuka and Pickens. Ibuka and Pickens. Gil with the super chat. Appreciate you, bro. He said, bro, start Pickens or Ibuka, Hindi or Pollard. I'm starting Ibuka over Pickens, and I'm starting him. That's rough. I'm gonna start, man. I'm gonna start Pollard over Hindi. The reason why that's safe, I'm giving you something safe. I don't want you to get Hindi and he only get 8 points and Pollard. Whew, brother, upside is Hindi. Ibuka is easy. You got to start Ibuka. Hindi and Pollard, what you got to do if you start Hindi, you got to be ready for. Okay, he might not give you the upside, but Hindi is going to be the guy. So Pollard is the safe play. They got a tough matchup against a tough defense, but Hindi is the most explosive guy. We big. We trying to get 30 point, 40 points. So I'm gonna go with Hindi and Abuka. But I won't be surprised if Pollard outscores him because Pollard is the only starting running back for Tennessee. So I don't want to give you fruit salad, but I guess I would just say I'm going down with the ship with Hindi and Ibuka. CHB says Margot Robbie or Jamie Presley. They look the same. They the same. They look like the exact same girl, don't they? That's a good one, CHB. I'm gonna go with Margot Robbie. I heard that Pat and Reek get along like Jimmy G and Devontae now. Let's see. Joe Williams says quarterback Daniels, running back A Chain, running back Walker, wide receiver Lamb, wide receiver Worthy, Kelsey, Flex, McMillan. Pretty happy with it. A Chain, Walker. I'm not big on Walker. Lamb. I'm not big on Lamb. I'm gonna give it a B, and I'm rating you hard. You got good players that people trust. I'm just not big on Walker and Lamb, but that's just me. I still think you got a solid team, but I'm gonna give it a B. Okay, what was typing when you praised Dante Thornton? What did I miss? Yeah, just Dante Thornton, man. They said Jacoby Myers had got traded, so if he did get traded, go get Dante Thornton. But stash Dante Thornton anyway, even if he didn't. I'm on my phone. I don't have my laptop with me, so I can't go and vet that news. Charlie Wood, Eddie Phillips, you're right. Charlie Ward would have been really good in the NFL as a short quarterback. I mean, I would love to see it. That's a little bit before my time, but I heard about Charlie Ward. He was a great NBA, I mean, not a great NBA player, but he was a good NBA point guard. He started. Wayne says Derek Thomas. Derek Thomas was great. If he wouldn't have got, if he wouldn't have got unalived, he would have been great. Um, Wayne says Puka going to get 120 receptions. I ain't gonna argue with you on that one. Shane O'Shara says, have you guys sports also? So would you get Dante Thornton and drop Keenan Allen or wait till next week? I'm not dropping on Keenan Allen. I would keep Keenan Allen on my team. Keenan Allen is a flex play. I like that. Wayne says Chris Chambers or Dwayne Bowe. be the best receiver today? This is possible landing spots where Tyreek gets shipped to. I said Kansas City. I said the Tennessee Titans, and one more would be the Washington Commanders. That's just my two places. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Who knew that Michael Parsons would have went to the Packers? Nick Naylor says, highly doubt that Tyreek actually gets traded. Highly doubt that Tyreek actually gets traded. I don't see how you gonna trade that man and then you have a tour. Because once Tyreek is gone, tour numbers are gonna go down, and everybody knows that. That's why Tyreek is acting the way he acting. Would you drop Keon Coleman for Jaden Reed? No, I would keep Keon Coleman. Wayne says Trey Hendy, the new Kamara. I think he is, bruh. F12 Bruce says, was I wrong to draft Justin Jefferson at 8? No, it's Justin Jefferson. It's Justin Jefferson, bruh. You're not wrong for drafting him at 8. It's not always a skin to catch. Just because Nick Nader says, I got Thornton on my dynasty team hoping for the best. Martin Castillo says TD Star, Ricky Pearsall, Matthew Golden, or Eckler. I'm going with Ricky Pearsall. A says, so you bringing back the late night shows? I'm trying to, bruh. I'm trying to. It's rough. I'm a little tired right now, but I'm not giving up. Right? It's just late. I've been at work all day, and and then I haven't even ate. Y'all know I fast. I don't do my lives when I don't do lives while I'm eating. Like I don't have a full stomach and trying to do lives. I like to fast, so I'm been fasting now. I haven't ate all day, not this morning. So I've been fasting probably about 20 hours, 16 to 20 hours. So when I'm done with this live, I'm gonna go get something to eat. And I got something in the refrigerator that I'm gonna warm up. It just makes Yep, yes, sir, Ace. Kenny 49 says Vikings have beaten us for like 27 years straight. I kind of just want to get to the questions. I appreciate y'all making statements that you find doing to keep making them, but I'm gonna try to cherry pick the questions or a super chat. Um, Next time I do Fantasy After Dark, I'm gonna have content. I'm gonna be giving y'all something. But right now, I just wanted to do a Q&A. I just wanted to be able to go back and forth with y'all without giving a lot of fillers. JC says PPR rate me. Josh Allen, Chase, Nico, Kamara, Connor. Josh Allen, Chase, Nico, Kamara, Connor, DJ Moore, Ibuka, Jalen Warren. That's an 18, bro. That's an 18. You killed it. Nick says, yeah, I saw that. At some point, I just got to sit back and wait and not worry. MVF says, Ollie, Charbonnet, or Demario Douglas. I need one, bro. I would start Demario Douglas, but you need to pick up all those guys, Ollie and Charbonnet. All three need to be on your team. But if I'm here to start somebody, it would be Demario Douglas. Appreciate you being here, Nick. Michael Anderson says, I need running back depth badly and already have London, Hunter, and Diggs also instead of JSN. The other team is willing to offer T-Mac. I don't. Man, I don't like your wide receivers, Micah. Hunter and Diggs, I get it, Travis Hunter. Also, instead of JSN, the other team is willing to offer T Mac. It just depends on what running back you're trying to get. If you're gonna trade London, if I trade London, I need a 2-for-1. I need a wide receiver that's look like a Jameson Williams, and then I need another really good running back. That's what I would do. Michael says I'm trading Nico with Hampton, JSN, Braylon Allen be good return. No, no, I'm trading Nico with Hampton, Hampton, JSN. JSN is okay, but I would take J. It would have to take JSN and Hampton or JSN and Braylon Allen. I'm never trading my top players for a 1-for-1. I need 2-for-1. I'm gonna go down a little bit of tier and get 2-for-1. I feel better doing that. Cal says Ibuka or Henderson. Yeah, I'm definitely going to Ibuka. I agree with you, Kenny 49ers. Charlene says I picked up Keaton Mitchell in Station. I know you've been telling us, Charlene, you love Keaton Mitchell, and I don't think that's a bad pick. We know Keaton Mitchell can play. If Derrick Henry goes down, you got a league winner. Tron says, would you give CMC Hollywood and Goddard and for Chuba Hubbard, McBride and Diggs? CMC Hollywood and Goddard for Chuba Hubbard, McBride and Diggs? Yes, I'm going with Chuba Hubbard and McBride, number 2 tight end, and then you got Diggs, who's a flex play. Yes, I would do that. Alan says Debo or Montgomery. I'm going with Debo over Montgomery. Kenny said he's way behind on the comments. He'll see it soon. Thank you, Kenny. Thank you. Matthew Johnson says Tyreek is going to be tough on a trade because he costs too much money. 10% of the cap this year and 17% next year. Was I wrong? Okay, I answered it already, F12. Bruce, thank you for being patient, bro. Thank you for being patient. All right, I think that's kind of all the real direct questions. Guys, if you want your team ready, you have to become a member of the channel. Now, you good, bro, Michael. You good. I think I already got to your question, though. Tron says, which wide receiver would you ask for in a trade? Judy, Olave, Myers, Diggs, or Golden? Golden? Golden all day. 1A says, are you still taking the application for a co-host? Is the Barbershop podcast coming? The Barbershop podcast is still coming. I'm just waiting on my barber to get everything set up, how we're gonna record and stuff, but that is coming. And I'm not looking for an co-host, but I am looking for people who are willing to come and just fit in what they need. If I need a co-host that day, I need you to be able to do that. And if I need you to be able to edit some videos, I might need that. It just depends on bro. But email me at fantasygoodsports@gmail.com. Kyle says worried about A-Chain. I'm worried about him a little bit. So what I'm doing, because I really like A-Chain. What's going on, D-Tate? I'm getting Ollie Gordon with him. I'm really not a handcuff guy, but because of the A-Chain situation and his upside, and I want to really get that upside, I'm willing to take Ollie Gordon if it don't go, because this is the second round and he has a calf injury. That kind of red flags me a little bit, and so makes me want to get a handcuff. He said, what's good, bro? Slick Rick, what's going on? He said, Baltimore still has Hill, but waiting on Henry to go down be a waste of a roster spot. I agree with you, but I'm not, I get it. I get it. But, Keith Mitchell could have a role, and Charlene going to let you know, bro, if he get a role. And you're not going to be able to live it down. She said, TD, I told you. I told you. But I'm not going to wait on no Derrick Henry to go down. I'm not either, Slick Rick. DT said, should I drop Sensen for Ollie Gordon? No. You keep both guys. But who would I say is a better stash? I'll say Sampson because he got value this week. I think he got a little bit more value than Ollie. JC says Ibuka or DJ Moore week 1. Maximus like DJ Moore. I'm going with Ibuka. I'm going with Ibuka. All right, guys, go ahead and put your comments down. I'm down here at the bottom. If I missed your comment, let me know. I'm sorry about that. But guys, that's gonna happen. There's a lot of volume that I have now on my channels, especially when I bring a guest on. It's gonna take us a little bit to get to your question. So you might have, you just gonna have to super chat sometimes. Sometimes I won't be able to get to you. That's just how it goes. Sorry if you answer. It's all okay, bro. I respect what you're saying, Bo D. Appreciate you. He said, sorry if you answered this question, but I missed it. I have four startable receivers: Chase, Ibuka, DJ Moore, and Water in full PPR. First, do you like the receivers? Yes, I love Chase. I love Ibuka. I'm not that high on DJ Moore, but I like DJ Moore. I think he's a good flex play. And I'm not high on Water because I just don't know what the hell is going over there in Miami and what the hell they gonna do when they gonna trade anybody. He says, second, who should I bench? So out of those guys, I would probably bench Waddle because I just don't know what's gonna happen. But have your eyes on a swivel. Who knows? Tyreek could get traded tomorrow. They might trade Tyreek on. They probably waiting on game day to trade Tyreek. Say they don't have to worry about playing him or whatever's gonna happen. Kai says I got Juckins, but I'd be damned if I dropped him, so someone else can have him. Right? I got Juckins, but I'd be damned if I drop him. Yeah, don't drop him. I agree. D takes us right on anytime, bro. Trade Rashid for Swift or what running back? I would trade Rashid for like a Trooper Hubbard. I would go up a little bit more to Swift. I'm not gonna do it just for Swift because Rashid Rice is gonna be a top 12 wide receiver when he returns. A says, do you think Miami will use A-Chain and Ollie like Detroit used Gibbs and Monty? Yes, but I think A-Chain will get way more points than Ollie. I think Ollie might have between 5 and 10 points. And I think A-Chain, if he's healthy, is always going to be keeping it 15 to 20 points. That's why we really have A-Chain. I don't think Ollie's going to be Montgomery like it was 2 years ago and last year. I don't think it's going to be that. But I definitely want to have Ollie because if anything happens to A-Chain, now Ollie's going to ball out. D-Take says, would you trade Kenneth Walker for DJ Harvey or should I try to get Ashton Genty? Try to get Ashton Genty. So if you could take and trade Kenneth Walker and another piece and get Ashton Genty, I would do that. Kenny says, TD, I'm starting RJ and Monty this week. Am I cooked? No, because one of those guys could ball out. You never know. It's the first week. It's not really a lot that anybody can say about what's going to happen. Nobody really knows. It's going to be somebody out there that's a sleeper that's going to get a lone touchdown, and people going to say, "Yeah, I know I should have started him off one play." And no, you shouldn't. Now, if a guy goes out there and gets 8 to 10 targets like a Puka Nacua from 2 years ago, then that we might be, oh wow, how do you know about that? But nobody knows, bro. So go down with the ship. I don't have any teams where I'm going to start RJ and Monty. But I'm starting a couple of sleepers in some leagues. JC says Jacoby Myers to Dallas bad for CD owners. Yes. Did it happen, JC? Let us know if it happened. CT85 says this Houston, bro, keep putting that work in. Salute. This Houston. Okay. Thank you, CT85. Yes, sir, bro. JC says you want to wait on Ibuka week 1 or start him over DJ Moore. I'm starting him over DJ Moore, JC. I'm starting him over DJ Moore. I mean, this is Ibuka, man. He is no Chris Godwin. There's no Chris Godwin. No Tech, no McMillan. I said about to say Tech. It ain't Tech, it's McMillan. He got hurt with a neck injury. Ibuka. Baker's eating breakfast with him. They in the breakfast club. Kenny 49 is saying it, start just studs. Sometimes it's 2 studs, so I get it. Kenny 49 said, I'm starting RJ Harvey this week, TDM Uncooked. No, you're not. G Money says, start who you drafted to start. Don't dance with the girl that you came to the party with. Don't listen. I didn't been there before. I didn't went to a party. I'm looking good. I got my clothes on. I'm chilling. I see all girl. Hey, Terry, giving me hugs and stuff. You know what? Shit, she cute. She like me, and I'm over there in her face. The girl that I came with, I'm annoying her. Next thing I know, I got a couple numbers. I'm like, hey, what you doing tonight? Oh, I'm done. I gotta go to bed. But yeah, Ted, I see you at school next week. Oh, I'll talk to you later. You spread yourself thin. You should have stayed with the girl that you came to the party with, and you'd have had somebody that you possibly could go home with. And that's the same thing I tell y'all. Oh, Titty, should I start a book? RJ Harvey. Who did you draft? I drafted Ibuka, but I drafted Ibuka first. But I like RJ Harper because they said Ibuka. Start your studs. I got to look at your draft. Whoever you drafted in the first 7 to 8 rounds need to be your starters. Now, if you drafted Ibuka and you drafted 2 months ago and you got Ibuka on your bench, I get that. But don't be trying to play matchups, guys. I try to build teams where I'm front loaded heavy and my backup guys, I can maneuver them. I can drop them. If you build too much of a strong team, and this happens in 8 team and 10 team leagues, there's nothing you can do about it. But at the 12 team league, if you build a really, really good team, you can get whooped. You can miss the playoffs because you don't never know who to start. You got to choose between Mike Evans and Ibuka. Let's say that, right? Let's say Ibuka went on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. You trying to play matchup, and that's too tough to play fantasy football. You're never going to get that. It's going to be a guy who got a tough matchup and still going to ball out, and vice versa. So don't play matchups. But some of you believe in yourself and playing matchups, and that's fine too. I don't. I just believe in myself, knowing that I drafted really good studs and I'm a starter. I don't try to get cute and play matchups. Slick Rick says Maya hasn't been traded yet, but it's being discussed that he will go to the Jets. Okay. All right, let's see here. Um Kenny says TD Breach Hall, Swift, or Aaron Jones flex. Breach, Swift, or Aaron Jones. I'm going with Swift over Aaron Jones and Breach Hall. A says, you think we get vintage Mahomes this year? They say he's out for revenge. Yes, but guys, remember he trying to win championships. He don't care nothing about getting 50 touchdowns. But I do think he has those for more touchdowns this year. That's why I love Xavier Worthy. Slickweed says Dallas needs to trade for a running back. I don't know what they're gonna do. So that's why I'm taking. I'm not taking, but I like Dak Prescott. I love George Pickens. I'm kind of fading CeeDee Lamb because I don't know if he has the touchdown upside with George Pickens being there. Where George Pickens is a green zone guy, he's a live guy. D Tate 100 in the building. Kenny says ETN could be the guy, but sure, but the scheme fit though. Does the scheme fit? Not sure if the scheme fits. JC says, yeah, but Ibuka and DJ Moore are close. Not that close. Ibuka has a real starting role. DJ Moore got to worry about Odunze, Olamide Zaccheaus, and a new offensive coordinator that didn't pick him. Slick Rick says if Mahomes plays like he did in the playoffs, he'll finish as the QB1. Kenny 49 said Pat has a nice O line this year. He could be MVP. Of course he could. JC said Mahomes got really unlucky last year with a lot of passing yards, but not a lot of TDs. Samuel, what's up, bro? He says 12-man PPR, 6-point touchdown was third. Got in order. Remember, guys, teams, and I'm gonna tell you, all it costs is $1. It's $1. Man, super chat, yeah, I do it, but it's gonna cost $1 to get on the tier. That's the cheapest tier I got. So I'm not gonna be rating these teams unless you are a member. I'm not gonna sell my member short like that. Ricky Bobby with the super chat. He says Ibuka or Tony Pollard. I'm going with Ibuka over Tony Pollard because Tony Pollard has a very tough matchup. So I'm going with Ibuka. Great question, but I'm gonna do it right now, Samuel. He says in order: Gibbs, A Chain, London, Tyreek, McMillan, Rice, Sutton, Loveland, Ibuka, JJ, Sharp, Keaton, Thornton, B plus, B plus team. Chris is week one, Mason or JK. I'm going with JK over Mason. I'm going with JK over Mason because Aaron Jones is going to be, in there too. 1A says you're right. Last year, too many studs and couldn't decide who. I'm telling you, I don't have my team. My teams be front loaded, bro. I might have two positions that I might have to make that play on. Kenny says JK is RB1, Mason RB2, but doesn't matter, right? JC says put your money up. It's worth it, right? Yep. JC telling you, like, get you if you want to get your question answered, put your money up. Get your because I'm not gonna be ready. I'm gonna do it today. This is my first live for Q&A. On my next Q&As, I'm sorry. I might cherry pick a few out. If I see you in there and you knew, I do want subscribers, but it's gonna be very faint. It's gonna be very quick. I'm just gonna give you a grade. So I'm gonna tell y'all now, you got if you want to get your team rated or ranked or whatever you call it, make sure you become a member of the channel. You got $1 tier. That's $1, guys. Or you got another tier, which you get more than that, right? You get I'm gonna get to your questions immediately. That's why I try to skip to my members at all times. Even if I'm getting ready to get off, if you're a member, I'm gonna answer your question. Jake Moore says, would you trade Amari Hampton and Gordon for Genty or sell Hampton straight up? Would you trade Amari Hampton and Gordon for Genty? Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Do Amari Hampton and Gordon for Genty. Yes. Sammy says, thank you, bro. Anytime. Thank you. Jay Moore says, how do you feel about Thornton? I love Thornton Jr. He's a stash on almost every single team that I have. And last one is Kenny 49 says, TD, he says, really, or Marvin Harrison Jr.? I'm going with Marvin Harrison Jr. over really, but it's very, very close. It's almost tomato, Kenny. Tomato. All right, guys. I've been going live here for about an hour and a half. I'm giving thank y'all guys for tuning in. I'm about to give me something to eat. Y'all guys be safe, and I'm gonna be doing another video tomorrow. And I'm probably gonna do another video and a live, or maybe 2 lives. It just depends. Y'all guys be safe. Peace.